just like I am, so everybody wants to get to food. I'm on a business trip in Chicago. I'm sitting in the airport lounge. Coach D calls me and goes, Darnell, you're going into the Brooklyn Tech Football Hall of Fame. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm sitting there, and he's like, the details will come later. And then the first thing, I get the thing in the mail, and I'm like, Staten Island. I was like, what's that? Like, I hate Staten Island. But I will tell you, the reason I hate Staten Island is because of Wagner, Curtis, right? I hate those guys. My high school career ended in Curtis. So every time I think about Staten Island, I think about football, and so it really drives me crazy. But in all seriousness, I will say when I look at my life right now, when people ask me how things are going, the first thing I think about is gratitude. I think about sort of where my life is right now. I married my college sweetheart. I have two lovely kids. Beautiful home in the suburbs. Great thriving career. All the things that really are the American dream. And so I'm very, very grateful for what I have. But it's all a function of where I am now and where I started is a little bit different. So yeah, I grew up in the South Bronx, grew up in Mitchell housing projects from late '80s, early '90s. That was a different environment. I passed the test going into tech. Didn't really know too many people in Brooklyn. Almost failed out my freshman year. But that really set my life off. And if I really think it's about like things that change your life, right? Certain moments. I remember I had not a great junior year. I got hurt. In my senior year, I had a couple drops, and these guys, you see Coach D, Coach Brown, and Colombo. They're like kind of nice now, but they were they were not nice when I was playing. These guys coached you hard, and so I remember almost quit the team going into my senior year, and then I forget who we were playing. In one of the early games in the season, I had dropped a couple passes in my junior year, and then I caught a deep pass for a touchdown, and it was almost like when you put your hands out, it was almost like an angel put it in my hands. And that set off that senior year. I had a great season, ended up being, MVP All-City. That got me into Lafayette College. Lafayette got me into Wall Street, and that really changed the trajectory of my life and my family's life, really. I remember one of the early guys that I worked with, he said, no matter what you've gone through in your life, at some point, any family that's been successful, someone just drew a line in the sand and said, you know what, it's going to be better after me. And if anything, I take a lot of pride in sort of building something for the future, for my children, for my grandchildren, all those other things. And I owe an awful lot to Brooklyn Tech and the experiences that I had because of that. And for you boys, congratulations on the success. Remember a couple things as you go through life, right? You're Brooklyn Tech, so you're smarter than everybody else. 2, you play football, so you're tougher than everybody else. 3, you're New Yorker, so you're better than everybody else. So, I'll take a long way. Thank you.